Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin tries again to break out, so we will see if Bitcoin is successful this time or if it's going to do the same thing, the same actions as it did over the recent weeks, which means trying to break out, failing, trying to break out, failing. So now another breakout attempt. So both scenarios still possible, yellow and white, but as I suggested to you and explained to you in previous videos, if we see a break above this breakout point at roughly $44,820, it makes sense to follow the white structure, which means the more direct breakout scenario. However, first of all, Bitcoin needs to break above the $45,900 level to confirm this further. So before we dive into the microstructure, let's take a look at the overall pattern here. We see still the third wave top on the 8th of December. Then Bitcoin went through a long correction, all corrective price action until here recently the price could have formed a low in this wave 4. It now looks more likely that it wants to try another breakout, obviously. I mean, it's trying another breakout. The yellow count seems a little less likely. It's nearly 50-50 here, really, at this stage. But the roadmap gives you an idea of which scenarios are going to be in control at which point in time. So let's zoom into the detailed structure. So ideally, still, we get another rally to 50K plus. The question is, do we get that rally before the ETF approval, or do we see a little bit further correction before the ETF approval? At the moment, obviously, it seems as if Bitcoin wants to try another rally. But again, it depends on its ability to get a sustained break above 45,900. This is what it couldn't really do before, break above the recent highs and maintain there. It tried something here, failed, tried something here, failed quite miserably, actually. And we had something like, what was that? An intraday loss of around about 10%, so quite substantially. Okay, so let's zoom in and take a look at the structure, and it seems like the white structure is in control. I changed the structure we talked about this diagonal pattern already before, but looking at the latest price action also with this dip that we had late yesterday or early today, it makes more sense. So first of all, the yellow count is still possible, but obviously getting challenged right now. Seems like it wants to push higher, but I shifted this wave 1, okay, which was here before, to here. It now looks better with the overall structure. And looking at price action, if this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, then obviously we're dealing with a corrective structure in wave 3, because the wave 1 is a 3-wave move. As always, the wave 3 then also has to be a 3-wave move. A, B, C in the white count. And this gives us a few levels to watch. First of all, if this really is what's playing out, we have a few levels to watch. First of all, 45,900, the recent high. Expect some resistance in this zone. Then we have the ascending trend line here of this trend channel. Let me adjust that properly because it might actually get relevant. So this could provide some additional resistance as we go higher. Okay, and then obviously the Fibonacci levels. They start to be relevant at 47,240 for wave 3. An ideal target for wave 3 is 47,847. The 1.618 extension level is also not uncommon for a third wave. That's at 48,868. So somewhere in this range, the third wave, then a fourth and a fifth. So it really depends on its ability to maintain above 45,900. Okay. Now we can also add the length of the wave 1, so we can calculate the target for the C wave separately from that method. So we take the length of the A wave, we go to the low of the B wave, and okay, so this C wave would need to extend quite a bit because the 1.618 extension level is here at 46,433. That's really too shallow for a reliable third wave in a diagonal. So we'll see how that all comes together. I think the levels are clear. This is what minimally a third wave should reach really to be reliable. Yeah, or it's just a large ABC structure or whatever, but this is sort of the best count I can see for a breakout, and the parameters are fairly clear. Needs to break above 45,900, maintain above it, and reach minimally 47,240 to be, let's say, a likely third wave. I mean, we talk about likelihoods here. Anything is possible, but we want to have a reliable structure. Then a 4 and a 5. So the Elliott waves and the Fibonacci guidelines, they give us some guide paths here, some guidelines to follow this diagonal. Obviously, if it fails anywhere before 47,240, it might just be a reset of the B wave. Okay, so it might just be another reset of the B wave. And I told you it's going to be a little bit crazy this week with volatility, even though we haven't seen too much yet. But I think it's just going to get a little bit more extreme as we're approaching Wednesday, Thursday. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.